From the air, evidence of the shocking violence that's hit this quiet country town. A man's body lies on the forecourt of a Shell service station in Argyle Street, Picton. One man heard a single shot.
It didn't really sound like a real loud gunshot. Just a bang which sort of, obviously attracts your attention.
Others, unwilling to be identified, saw the victim fall.
Pulling into the petrol station at Picton, saw a guy look like he was staggering towards the Bowsers and he just fell backwards on his back.
Police swarmed into the area, set up a perimeter, telling people to stay away.
And we don't understand, but there was a policeman already there and he yelled at us to get out of there.
The copper was just like, get out, get out. And so I just reversed back and left.
The shooting happened just across the road from the police station. Paramedics rushed to the victim but couldn't help.
The lady ambulance officer was quite distressed.
Witnesses described the victim as solidly built, middle-aged. At first they thought he'd had a heart attack. The victim's been identified as Darren Wallace, who runs a local leather goods shop.
Both deceased persons were members of outlaw motorcycle gangs and known to each other.
The nearby Picton High School was forced into lockdown, parents told to come and collect their children.
We were just told to come down and pick the kids up and they won't let them out the gate, no one's allowed in the gate.
Locals pointed out the gunman's escape route. Heavily armed officers, guns drawn, searched several local properties, clearing a home, sheds and outbuildings, before finding a second body in the nearby creek next to the graveyard of St Mark's Anglican Church in Menangle Street. That body was just a few hundred metres from the initial crime scene down Argyle Street into Menangle and across the churchyard. There's talk the shooting might be related to a feud involving the rebels' motorcycle gang.
People have been speculating that it's related to bikies and that, but it's all just guesswork.
The rebels are involved in a local tattoo parlour that was shot at last month. The victim, Darren Wallace's leather shop, is next door. The tattoo parlour is owned by the family of TV's Bachelorette winner Sasha Milzarek Jr. They say today's shooting had nothing to do with them.
We're not looking for anyone else at this stage. However, what I can say, as I said earlier, is believe both persons were known to each other.
And Matthew Snelson is at Picton for us this evening. Matt, you've been talking to locals. Do you know what provoked the initial attack?
Not yet, Mark. Witnesses have told us that the gunman confronted Darren Wallace as he was filling up in the service station. There was an argument between the two men. Wallace raised his hands and said it's not worth it before he was shot. Now, that pistol has been recovered during the searches by police this afternoon. Officers are going to be here for some time, going through the security video and forensically examining the scene. Mark.
OK, Matt, thanking you. Now, senior crime reporter Robert Ovadia is with us. Rob, have police identified the shooter?
They know who he is. They haven't formally identified. They do know for sure that he is a rebel's bikie. From what I'm told, his flatmate is in speaking with police at the moment. Next of kin are yet to be identified, so we can't release his name tonight.
And could we be looking at the start of a new, very serious bikie war?
It's counterintuitive to suggest that a rebel's bikie is a shooter and a rebel's bikie also happens to be the victim, so therefore there won't be a war. That's not the case. The rebels right now are going through a bit of a funny time. Their leader, Alex Vella, who really cracked the whip on the rebels, ran a tight ship, is banished overseas. He's not running the joint anymore. There's a bit of a power vacuum. It's not to suggest that that has anything to do with this. These guys sometimes, when they have differences, when they tread on each other's toes, they sort it out with guns.